Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Loan Officer Marketing Podcast. We have with us a rising star in the Loan Officer Breakfast Club community, Melissa Rishel. Melissa, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me, Chris.
Awesome. So, um, you mentioned something on the Breakfast Club the other day that I thought was absolutely brilliant. So I wanted to share it with the members and I wanted them to hear it from you. So tell us a little bit about yourself and then we will get into the walk and talk strategy.
Okay, I'm Melissa Rishel. I'm a loan officer with Homespire Mortgage. I have been licensed for 4 years now. I came from the medical field, but I worked as a junior loan officer and then a loan officer assistant for the last 4 years and decided this year to just take the risk and go off on my own and make myself successful instead of helping other loan officers get successful.
That is amazing. And knowing what you're getting into and coming up through all aspects of the business, you got a fabulous foundation underneath you to grow on, which is so incredible. And you've come up with a really interesting way to meet with and build relationships with top producers. So tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I joined the mortgage marketing animals for some coaching.
Yeah.
And, I don't have my own past database. Because obviously I was working underneath other loan officers, so I'm starting scratch. So I just am trying to build realtor relationships. I had, a career goal for this year, and I also had a health goal for this year to move more. And a big part of the mortgage marketing animals is for Thor's Hammer is scheduling, coffee appointments with agents. So I kind of try to think out of the box and combined, both of my goals, meeting with more agents and building relationships and moving more. And I created something called Walk and Talk Real Estate. And for my calls, I am asking, loan officers, I still give them the option. Do you want to meet for coffee or a Zoom? Or I have this other idea. We can meet somewhere and go for a walk and talk real estate. I'll record a couple clips while we're walking. I'll create a reel, share it with you, and then we both have something that we can, put out to social media.
That is awesome. And what type of feedback do you get when you're making the calls and you're inviting real estate agents to come and walk and talk?
I mean, it's a mix of both, but it's more like really positive. I love that idea. That's such a great idea. It's, springtime is here. Or like, oh no, I don't want to be on video. I'm good with
Yeah.
that. I will meet you for coffee scheduled for next week. And it's a challenge, finding a little bit of time to like go and meet somewhere for a walk, especially because
Hmm.
realtors are so busy and they're out and about all over, the cities. And um, but once we do get together, it's a fun time. We have fun and we get some good content.
That is awesome. So, um, for everybody listening here, um, so inside the mortgage marketing animals, I teach a weekly class on Wednesdays called the AI Inner Circle. And we did the math this week on talking to qualified realtors and the math behind it. And if you meet with 3 qualified agents a week, which is what you have on your schedule for next week,
Mm-hmm.
that is, I think the number is 156. It's 156 appointments a year.
Well, that's a lot of steps. I'm excited for that too.
That's right. So we just hit a Fitbit goal somewhere
Yeah.
with that number of steps. But if you take a look at that number and only 20% of those, like you hit your fitness goal, right? And 20% of those realtors say yes to a referral relationship, like that is an absolutely transformative and first year rock star in the
That's
business.
amazing. I'm so excited. And I just prayers for me for that is my journey.
Well, just keep walking and talking, right?
Yeah, I'm
And
doing it.
then you're following the mortgage marketing animals plan. So you meet with somebody and then you put them on a focus list and you're
Yep.
calling them once a week to follow up, right?
Yes. Hmm.
Fantastic. That's
Yep,
awesome.
I
Now,
have one. I have a open house she wants to partner with me on next week. So that started out with, a Thor's hammer, and then we met for coffee, and then I followed up and she was like, "Oh, I have an open house. I have a listing that's going live on the 1st. Do you want to hold an open house with me?" And I was like, "Yes."
amazing. Amazing. So make sure that you're either digitizing the check-in sheet by having
Hmm.
an opt-in form that people can
Yep.
opt-in form digitally. So QR code, or if you want to get super advanced, voice AI to check people in using the voice AI system, but get those leads and offer to work them for the real estate agent.
Yes. Yep.
Awesome. Okay.
And we actually have like a thing where we do like a $50 raffle. So whoever signs in, the agent's going to pick a winner, and then, it gives incentive to like get their information.
That is amazing. I love that strategy. That is awesome. Now, when you're making your calls out to the agents to invite them to the walk and talk, are you working off of a qualified list?
Yes, I have my list of, 8 deals in the last 24 months and up, and I just hit them all. I think I have a goal to call 100 people a week.
Amazing. That is awesome. And so, again, for everybody listening, do you have a rough idea of your numbers of, like, out of those 100 calls that you make, how many people you talk to, and then how many people you actually book appointments with?
I do keep track, but I'm getting
Nice.
all that organized. Like I just started at HomeSpire on the 10th, and I just got all these tools and resources. I have a CRM, I have Power Dialer.
Nice.
I'm using everything. I'm a learn by doing. So I've
Yes.
just started using everything and kind of going with the flow as I go, and learning and organizing everything.
That is amazing. The fact that you're aware of the tracking and putting things together, the most
Hmm.
important part is just make the calls. Make the
Yeah.
calls, the numbers will
Yeah,
come.
that's the top priority. I'm like, I'll spend an hour after I'm done making calls and get this all organized and get tasks made for the next week.
That is awesome. That is absolutely amazing. So our team, we talk to about 24% of the people that we call, but we're volume. So we have a concierge program where we call qualified agents and book the appointments for the loan officers. And so our contact ratio is 24%. Normally, when we're talking to individual loan officers that are making their own calls and that are doing their own calls, the contact ratio
Hmm.
can be as high as 50%. So 100 calls out could be 50 conversations for you. And from there, we tend to see about 30% of the people that you talk to actually agree to book the appointment with you. So to give you like a benchmark of what you can aim
Oh
for.
yeah, nice.
And
Cool.
then,
Yeah, my system will track like who I actually contacted, because I'll
yes,
check the box, and then who I left a voicemail for, and that's about right. I'm right at about 50%, because today I made like 20 something calls, and I had 11 calls completed. So that means I talked to 11 people,
that's
and I
awesome.
scheduled 3 appointments.
No, there you go. Those are the numbers. That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's so, Melissa, congratulations. And the consistency of those activities over time, they stack up, and it really does make a big difference. So,
Hmm.
how do you get over call reluctance?
I don't know if you ever get over call reluctance when you have it. You just
Fair.
have courage and power through it. But it does get easier. I've only been doing this, a couple months, and I've only been like really doing the calls since I joined MMA, which was, February, mid February. Um, and then I joined a new company, so I got distracted with learning all those things. So I've really only been doing calls for maybe 2 weeks.
Awesome.
Um, and I noticed the more I do it consistently in a row, the less apprehensive I am about it. But if I skip a day, or I have something where I go a day without it, I notice I'm a little more hesitant when I go to do it again.
Absolutely. The activity of the daily action and
Yeah.
call stars within the mortgage marketing animals is an
Hmm.
absolutely incredible way to get in a community, get in the flow, get in the stream, and
Yes.
get that.
Hear people's wins, to just boost up your confidence and know that your win's coming. Yeah, I love it.
That is amazing. Um, 2 weeks in making your calls and you're already up to 3 qualified agents doing the walk and talk. That is absolutely incredible. So thank you for being so generous with your time. One final question. So you do the walk and talk and you shoot the content, whether it's video or it's audio or whatever. What are you then doing with that content? What's the plan to leverage that?
It is, I'm using it to post on like go into like CapCut, or I'll just go right into Instagram and create a reel. And I'm using it as more of like short form videos. And then I want to take some of the portions that I didn't get to fit into the short form video, and make like clips to like post on stories and stuff and link. I don't know if I can link. I'm still very new at this. But that's the goal, and to share it out and to help, talk about things that people don't know about. I'm an educator. I love to educate people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the big point. Like, what are the things that I know that I have come across that home buyers are always confused about? What some common misconceptions are, and then try to talk about those type of things. So the first walk and talk I did, we talked about the buyer broker agreement, which is like a hot topic, and went through all of that, and it came out really good. I was really happy with it.
That is amazing. That's awesome. Boy, you are just on fire. Content creation, networking, making your calls. Melissa, welcome to the mortgage industry. You are absolutely going to crush it.
Thank
If
you.
people want to learn more about you or follow you on social, how do people find out about you?
Yeah, so I'm on Facebook, just my name, Melissa Rishel. I also have a business page, or Melissa Rishel Loan Officer. On Instagram, you can follow me at Mrs. Rish, MRSRISH. I also have a business Instagram as well, Melissa Rishel LO. And you can always email me, mrishel@homespiremortgage.com, or give me a call. Just DM me, reach out if you have any questions. Like I said, I'm an educator, so I'd love to chat to anybody who wants to chat.
That is awesome. Well, I just followed you on Instagram, and
Oh,
I'm looking forward to seeing those walk and talks. And again,
yay.
thank you for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. It was fun.
Awesome. And to all of our listeners, thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.